In this demonstration, we're going to create and activate Okta-Sourced users. I'm an Okta admin for Okta ICE. I got an email from my HR department indicating we have 2 new hires starting today. They want accounts created for them in Okta so that they can become productive right away. So let's get it done. I'm going to enter in my Okta URL, my Okta username and password, and I'm going to click sign in. Depending on your Okta org configuration, you may land on the Okta admin dashboard right away, like you see here, or you may end up on the Okta end user dashboard, which we'll take a look at in just a moment. The Okta admin dashboard gives you a nice overview of the Okta org itself, users, groups, apps that are available, the current status, any outstanding tasks for you as the Okta admin, recent changes to the org, as well as any recommended security updates to improve your Okta org security posture. Let's jump over and take a look at the end user dashboard. End user dashboard will typically show you apps that are assigned to you as an end user, as well as allow you to modify certain settings about your account, including things like personal information, your password, forgotten password question, display language, MFA, and other things like it. But let's get back to the task at hand. Back in the admin dashboard, we're going to click on the users link to create our 2 new users. We're going to click on the add person button. And we're going to take the information that HR sent us, in this case, the first name and last name, and fill in the pieces that I know for the username and the primary email. And then we're going to make a choice. For Sally, we're going to allow Sally to set her own password. So I'm going to leave the password dropdown as set by user. And since Sally needs to set her own password, she needs to get an activation email. So I'm going to check the box that says send user activation email now, so that she'll get that activation email and can finish setting up her account. Now I do have one other user to set up, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the button that says save and add another. My second user, Tom, again has first name and last name information sent by the HR team. But Tom is going to get a password that's set by me, the Okta administrator. So I'm going to choose the dropdown for password that says set by admin. I'm going to type in the user's password. And I'm going to leave the box checked that says user must change password at first login, just to improve security here. But I'm going to have to remember this password and get it to Tom so that he can log in. Now, since I don't have any other users to create, I'm going to go ahead and click save. The Okta admin dashboard updates as you make changes, but occasionally you'll have to do a browser refresh to see the most recent information. So we'll do that here. And we see both Sally and Tom's accounts have been created. Sally's current state on the people page is pending user action. If you'll recall, that means that Sally has received an activation email, but must click on the link in the email to set up her password and finish her account activation. Tom, however, is in an active state, meaning that Tom's account is fully active. The password has been communicated to him that I've done out of band, and that he's ready to log in. But again, we'll have to change his password based on our previous selection. On the people page, we can also see actions that we can take in bulk to users, including resetting passwords, resetting MFA, as well as activating accounts, deactivating accounts, expiring passwords, and unlocking people. If we drill down into a user's profile a little bit more closely, Sally Field, who is currently in pending user action, we'll see that we have additional actions that we can take here. Now remember, Sally was set up with an activation email, so she doesn't have a password currently, but needs to set it up. If we wanted to change our activation method for Sally, we could actually set Sally a temporary password and activate her right here with this button. Additionally, if we wanted to just resend an activation email to Sally, because the activation emails are only good for a certain lifetime, we can do that here as well. And then there are additional actions of suspending Sally's account and deactivating Sally's account as well. In addition to the actions that we can take on Sally's state, we also have applications assigned to Sally, which aren't currently any, groups that Sally is a member of, which is only one at the current time, the default everyone group, and then Sally's profile. Now, as the Okta ICE administrator, I've been instructed to add the corporate phone number to everyone's account as they're created in Okta. So I'm going to edit Sally's profile, scroll down to the phone number, and type in the phone number for Sally here. When I'm done, I can scroll to the bottom and click Save, and Sally's profile has been updated. Now I'm going to go back to Tom, I'm going to click on the people link, go back and do the same for Tom. Now Tom will see, will note that Tom shows as an active state on the people tab, but as we click into Tom's account here, we see that Tom, while active, is in a password expired state. So Tom has to, when he logs in next time, has his initial password, but he's going to have to change it. So when he logs in, he'll have a new password after he changes it. And the actions for Tom are slightly different as well. For Tom, I can send a password email. Even though it says resend, it really doesn't mean resend here because Tom didn't get an initial email. But for Tom, we can change the method like we did with Sally to a temporary password, or which is indicated on the bottom, or a reset password link, which is basically like an activation link like Sally got. So you can change that if you like. In addition, you do have more actions, just like Sally, of suspend and deactivate. And again, like Sally, we see that Tom has no applications assigned, is a member of the default everyone group, and I need to update his profile with the corporate phone number. So I'm going to scroll down to the phone number, type it in, and scroll down and click Save. And that wraps up this demonstration for creating and activating source users. But I just got an email from my manager indicating that Sally is going to be joining my team as an Okta administrator. Well, I guess we have another demonstration coming up showing you what that looks like.